accompanied this afternoon by several family members and some close friends. Captain Wool, could you introduce them, please? McEvoy joined the Arlington Heights Police Department in 1989. In 1993 and 1994, he served as a special agent for the Northeast Metropolitan Enforcement Group that targeted illegal narcotics. He currently serves as a patrol officer. However, he has a number of ancillary duties, including serving as a forensic technician and a member of the department's forensic arson team. Mike has an established, outstanding record that includes departmental commendations, multiple department performance citations, and complimentary letters from other law enforcement agencies, as well as from citizens. During the past year, Mike was assigned to conduct a forensic review of 2 cold case murder investigations, both very old cases. The assignment was tedious, time-consuming, and at times very frustrating. Officer McEvoy handled the assignment with professionalism and dignity. He was assigned as the lead forensic technician in both cases. One of the cases involved the exhumation and autopsy of a victim who died in 1973. In spring of last year, Officer McEvoy served as an instructor teaching the Arlington Heights Fire Department about evidence awareness. He was the primary presenter for each of the 6 classes that were attended by nearly 80 fire personnel. He received numerous accolades from fire department staff members regarding his presentation and knowledge of evidence. In addition to being a forensic technician, Officer McEvoy is one of the department's arson investigators. During the year, Mike was called upon to investigate several serious fires, including one this past November, which caused the death of 3 people. Frankly, Mike has earned a reputation at the department as someone who is dedicated to his work, pays great attention to detail, and demonstrates a willingness to help co-workers. Finally, on December 12th of last year, Officer McEvoy responded to a report of a man with a gun involved in a domestic situation in a single-family home on the village's north side. The victim was visiting her mother at the address when confronted by an old boyfriend who was armed with a pistol. Mike McEvoy was the first officer on the scene and encountered a woman in a garage screaming for help. She shouted, "He's got a gun, he's going to kill her." Mike subsequently heard shots from inside the home and knew that he had to react immediately. He couldn't wait for backup. With total disregard for his own safety, he then entered the home, encountered a second woman in the kitchen, and safely escorted her out to the garage. He then re-entered the home in the hopes of locating a third woman, who we later found out was the hostage in this case, when he was shot and collapsed to the floor. After being removed from the home by other responding officers, Officer McEvoy was rushed to Lutheran General Hospital, where he was treated for his injuries and spent the next 16 days in the intensive care unit. Even today, Officer McEvoy continues to battle his injuries. It's my understanding, some of you may not know this, that the bullet that he was shot with is still inside Mike. And the plan, I believe, is to remove that bullet next month. Yes, sir. Very good. In summary, Michael McEvoy has demonstrated a strong work ethic and dedication to duty. Officer McEvoy's courageous actions to the call for help in December surprised no one in our department. He is a true police professional, deserving to be recognized as the L.W. Calderwood Officer of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you to be seated for just a few more minutes, and I'm sure you'll be getting up again in just another minute. On behalf of the village board, most of whom Chief Morning already introduced. I also want to recognize two other trustees who joined us this afternoon, Trustee Rosenberg and Trustee Robin Leventz, who are also with us this evening. On behalf of the Village Board and all of the residents that we represent, I'm very honored to be here for this very special Calderwood Officer of the Year Award. I want to add our thanks from the Village Board and the Village of Arlington Heights to the Calderwood family and to the New Rotary Club for their sponsorship of this event. You've heard me say many, many times that I believe the quality of life is second to none. And this event here this afternoon is just an example of one reason why. The events that happened on the night of December 12th really indicated why we are such a great community. The support and love that the officers, the colleagues of Officer McEvoy showed for him that evening was just amazing. And I had a first-hand seat being in the police department that evening for all of the events until the situation concluded. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that the love and care and support and professionalism that this department showed for their fellow officer was just truly amazing and something that we can all be very proud of. Again, this is just an indication of how much we care for each other and an indication of how we are really all one family working together for the common good, for a common goal of even further advancing the quality of life here in Arlington Heights. So for all that this department does, and for all of our village staff and employees, all they do to contribute to that quality of life, we thank you. I would now like to move on to the formal presentation of the award. So Officer McEvoy, if you come forward. The L.W. Calderwood Officer of the Year Award is presented to Officer Michael McEvoy, star number 213. By recommendation of the staff of the Arlington Heights Police Department, you, by your outstanding performance, devotion to duty, and maintenance of high standards throughout the year, have displayed outstanding service to the community and are hereby awarded the title of Officer of the Year for the year 2013. Congratulations.
Officer McEvoy, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Arlington Heights and the Calderwood family, we'd like to present you with this gift in recognition of the award. Thank you for your courage and thank you for your bravery.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming today, all the village officials, the Calderwood family, of course, the police chief, the command staff, all my friends, my family. A special thanks to my mother, fiance, for coming today, along with my friends. I just want to say thank you very much. I'm very proud to be an Arlington Heights police officer, and I'm extremely proud to be the recipient of the 2013 L.W. Calderwood Award. Thank you very much.
The police department has a well-defined awards program. One of the awards, the Award of Valor, is presented to an employee of the department for an act of bravery or heroism, in which the officer has demonstrated a great degree of personal courage and devotion to duty. After Mike McEvoy was shot, 3 backup officers arrived on the scene. Officers Kevin Sullivan, Michael Turano, and Doug Glanz encountered 2 women in the driveway of the residence. As the officers approached, the women were shouting, "Your officer is in the home. He has a gun," and they're shooting. With total disregard for their own safety, the officers approached the door leading from the garage into the home. Officer Sullivan attempted to open the door and found that it was obstructed. He was subsequently able to open the door partway and discovered the prone body of Officer McEvoy. All 3 officers subsequently were able to force their way into the home. Officer Sullivan and Turano dragged Mike McEvoy out of the kitchen while Officer Glanz provided cover. They then moved him down the driveway into the street while they sought cover behind a squad car. Now, if you, Mike, have any unexpected, unexplained injuries as a result, like on the back of your head, the back of the leg, you can thank these three officers. But you can settle up with them later. They were able to move him down the driveway into the street while they sought cover behind a squad car. Deputy Chief Kenneth Keppen was visiting a relative in the area and observed the unusual activity. He immediately sought out the officers, was advised of the injury, and began to apply compression to the wound. He also helped reposition our officer to ensure his airway was not compromised or obstructed from the massive bleeding. An Arlington Heights ambulance was summoned, and with the assistance of Deputy Fire Chief Keppen, they were able to remove Officer McEvoy and transport him to a trauma center. It is my honor at this time to present Deputy Chief Kenneth Keppen with the Police Department's Life-Saving Award. The award reads, without regard for personal safety, you unselfishly came to the aid of a critically injured Arlington Heights police officer during a highly volatile situation. After assessing the officer's injuries, you performed life-saving treatment until his care was transferred to others. Your heroic actions contribute to a life-saving event. Let me present you with your award. McEvoy, Glanz, Sullivan, and Turano, the Department's Award of Valor, which reads, an acknowledgement of exemplary dedication to duty, an unselfish disregard for personal safety, in the commission of an act of bravery and heroism, resulting in honor to you and the Arlington Heights Police Department. Please join me in congratulating all these awards. Right.
time was ticking?
At the time, it seemed as if time stood still, and it wasn't a difficult act. It was something that we just did out of response. Truth be told, the part of fear and being afraid and wondering what could have happened happens after the event. During the event, their adrenaline is going so fast, all you do is react and respond, and you don't remember everything that occurred until days later, which happened to all three of us.
What's it like seeing him today, hearing him talk, and knowing that one day he's coming back to the force?
It's one of the greatest gifts we could have.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. The minute I saw him, I got tears in my eyes. It's the second time I've seen him since the shooting. He looks phenomenal compared to what he's been through. And it's a miracle that he's here today, standing, breathing, talking. And it just sends chills up and down your body. It's incredible.
You just talking about it, you're obviously pretty emotional about this.
So I don't think there'll be a day that goes by where, I know for myself and Officer Turano, when you reflect on it, it's an emotional day. It's a day, even though you prepare your mind, you don't know what's going to happen or not. So it's an emotional
day is today.
Probably the second best day that we've ever had. The first best day was when we took Mike out of that house, and he left that night. Was, for me, one of my best days because he's alive.
And this is testimony that every cop will say domestics are the most dangerous calls you will make. That's it right there, right?
Correct. It is the most dangerous call we respond to at any given time because we do not know what's going to happen to anything at any point.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
He was conscious, but kind of in a delirium state, due to being medicated and obviously all the trauma that his body has gone through. But this is the second time I've seen him, and again, to me, it's a true miracle that he's here, that he's standing, that he's alive, and able to move on with his family.
It shows how strong his own will is to survive.
His dedication as far as making sure he's coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, they've said that he's already asking when can he come back to work. I mean, can you guys talk a little bit, having worked with Officer McEvoy, what he's like as a colleague, as a coworker?
Yeah, I mean, he's an officer we all look forward to working with. We look up to, and he's a veteran officer of almost 25 years. And
he's a leader. He's a leader on the shift. I mean, he's a top evidence technician, for our department. He's a very knowledgeable guy. He's a very private individual, but his skill as a law enforcement officer is second to none. It's self-explanatory. He deserved this award 100%.
You said he's quiet. He's pretty private. Doesn't want to do any interviews with the press, and obviously he left before all of that. I mean, is that just kind of who he is?
That is who he is, and out of respect for his family and himself. I mean, he's standing. He still has a lot. He still has a long road ahead of him. Again, it's just a miracle that he's here today. And I'm sorry, my son is waving to me, and it's just a true miracle. That's all we can really say. He was lifeless at the scene, and to see him up, alert, and talking, words can't describe how all three of us, feel about it.
There were so many other Arlington Heights police officers that responded during the incident to show their support and come to the police department. And I can't imagine what it was like for them to be out on the scene directing traffic, knowing that one of us had been shot. So I'd like to thank them for being able to still perform while this whole incident was unfolding.
And obviously your award today